Thought I'd, well, I should say where I'm from, Galion, Ohio. That's somewhere near Engagement. If you know where Engagement is, that's somewhere between Dayton and Marion. So that should give you a location. So anyway, Max wanted me to give you just a little bit of monologue about how I got where I'm at with music and so forth. When I was in elementary school, my mom had me take some piano lessons, and I never learned to read the music. I guess I just watched her play and played it by ear, and that kind of went by the wayside. And then when I was in high school, I bought a nice Gibson guitar and started playing around with that a little bit, and took a few lessons, and that went on about the same until about 1979, and my two sons and a foster boy, we went down to Tennessee and visited Gatlinburg, and they were having an Appalachian festival. Went in, and my wife had gone on ahead of me, and I spotted this guy making dulcimers, and fascinated me. And I watched him for a little while, and he played a little bit, and I said, "Do you can you play Wildwood Flower on that?" He said, "Yep." He did, and I said, "I'll be right back." It was towards the end of August, and my birthday was going to be September 2nd, and so I asked for that for my birthday, and that's what kind of got me started. Maybe some of you don't know about the Appalachian dulcimer. This is unique to the Appalachians of America. It's similar to the Schuholt over in Germany and some other similar instruments. It's very simple. It's got a simple scale. And what this represents is they would have used a quill mostly, and but they wear out too fast, so I use a wire tie. It represents the quill. And now these can be played a lot of different ways. Some people use what they call a wooden noter to go along to press down on the frets. I just use my finger. And some people will chord them. I do not do that. You can make these things sound very beautiful, but this is just a simple instrument, and so I'm going to just play a couple of tunes on it, and then we'll go to some of these other instruments. So I think you'll recognize the tune. This is another way of playing the dulcimer, is picking with your bare fingers, and some people do use steel picks too. But again, this is a very simple way of playing it. And this is a song that came out of the North Carolina mountains about 1912, I believe, and it's called "The Blackest Crow." A time has come, my dearest dear, when you and I must part. How little you know of the grief and woe in my poor aching heart. 'Tis but I suffer for your sake, believe me dear, it's true. I wish that you were staying here, or I was going with you. I wish my breast was made of glass, wherein you could behold. Upon my heart your name lies wrote in letters made of gold. In letters made of gold, my love, believe me when I say you are the one I will adore until my dying day. The blackest crow that ever flew would surely turn to white. If ever I prove false to thee, bright day would turn to night. Bright day would turn to night, my love, the elements would mourn. If ever I prove false to thee, the seas would rage and burn. Blackest Crow. Now I'm gonna pick up the, let's see, what came next. I guess we started going to dulcimer festivals and found a wooden banjo that looked a lot like a dulcimer, and bought that, and then I found a regular banjo and really fell in love with it, and so started playing the banjo quite a bit. So I'm going to do some tunes on here just to show you the value of a banjo. I know at Kent State University, I believe it is, they have an Appalachian festival, and they have a banjo contest, and the first place prize, just to show you the value of a banjo, was a banjo, and the second place was 2 banjos. The third place was 3, so they just couldn't get rid of the darn things. All right, let's see. How about, this is Maclean over here. Or Maclean? Maclean, okay. He's going to accompany me. We got here a couple hours ago and we did a little practicing, so if we make a little boo-boo now and then, we'll ask your forgiveness. But this is a tune that I'm sure you're all familiar with, called John Henry.
John, he went up to the mountain, the captain by his side. John Henry was so low, he laid down his hammer and he cried. Laid down his hammer and he cried. Well, old John, he said to the captain, Captain, I'm a-going to town. I'm gonna buy myself a 9-pound hammer. Gonna beat that steel on down. Beat that steel on down. John, he hammered in the tunnel till his hammer caught on fire. The very last words we heard John Henry say, give me a little drink of water before I die. Give me a little drink of water before I die. Well, old John, he had this little woman. Her pain was Polly-Ann. When John got sick and had to go to bed, Polly drove that steel like a man. Oh, Polly drove that steel like a man. Old John to the burying ground, buried him 6 feet under the sand. Now every time a train comes rolling by, they say there lies a steel driving man. There lies a steel driving man. One more. John Henry. Okay, well, I was thinking the other day, I think about different things, and I was wondering what tornadoes sounded like before they had freight trains. Did you ever think about that?
You know, I'm reading a book about it right now, actually.
Was that right? Mm-hmm. I was thinking maybe the first time they heard a freight train, they said, that sounds just like a tornado.
I would imagine so.
Suppose. All right, let me look on my list here and see what we got. I think might be a good time to do a gospel. I don't think we practice this, but I think you'll get along with it okay. This song was written by a lady that used to come down to Carter Caves a lot, Margaret Venable. I don't know if you remember ever seeing them down there or not, but she wrote this song and called "I'll Be Ready." It's got good advice in it, so we'll give her a try. I don't know if I'll be going home today, but if I do, I'll be ready. I'll be ready. There's a mansion waiting for me, Jesus said it, and it's true. I'll be ready when he calls for me. I believe our Lord and Master turned the water into wine, as
cripple and the blind. I believe him when he said he'll come again. Take me home, I'll be ready when he comes. There's a married supper waiting me across the great divide. I'll be ready, I'll be ready. There beside the crystal river he'll be calling, come and dine. I'll be ready when he calls for me. I believe our Lord and Master turned the water into wine, fed the hungry multitudes, healed the cripple and the blind. I believe him when he said he'll come again and take me home. I'll be ready when he comes for me. I'll be singing heavenly anthems that the angels cannot sing. I'll be ready, I'll be ready, praising him for my redemption as the bells of heaven ring. I'll be ready when he comes for me. I believe our Lord and Master turned the water into wine, fed the hungry multitudes, healed the cripple and the blind. I believe him when he said he'll come again and take me home. I'll be ready when he comes for me. Yup, I'll be ready when he comes for me. All right. Well, you do a good job over there for...
I think so.
I know I'm very difficult to follow. I've been told that before too. So, but well, you know the people in the Appalachians sang songs for a lot of different reasons. One was what we just written or told you about here. They sang songs about their religion, about their faith in God and so forth, but they sang songs about their work too, and a lot of coal mining songs. And we'll just stay in that same key there, Mr. Maclean or McLean, and we'll do one called 26 Miles to the Train. He worked at West Virginia coal. He worked at the Hazard Creek mine. Brother Johnny drove truck for the company, and he drove company truck number 9. And it's hard hauling coal through the mountains, hard hauling coal through the rain. It's hard hauling coal through the mountains. It's 26 miles to the train. Pappy said that coal kept us from starving. It kept us from the poorhouse door. Brother Johnny drove that truck for the money that we spent at the company store. And it's hard hauling coal through the mountains, hard hauling coal through the rain. It's hard hauling coal through the mountains. It's 26 miles to the train. pappy worked that coal, but it got him. He coughed up his own red blood. Brother Johnny drove truck for the company, but we waded to school in the mud. And it's hard, hard, hard hauling coal through the mountains, hard hauling coal through the rain. It's hard, hard, hard hauling coal through the mountains. It's 26 miles to the train. Now my pappy lies buried in the churchyard, and oh, how we miss him so. Brother Johnny got a job in Cincinnati, and pappy's raised up on the gold. And it's hard, hard, hard hauling coal through the mountains, hard hauling coal through the rain. It's hard, hard, hard hauling coal through the mountains. It's 26 miles to the train. Yeah, it's 26 miles to the train. Okay, check my list here again, and well, I want to do that one that I think it's called Linda Goes to Mars. We practiced that in a little bit, I think. And I know a lady called Linda, and I don't know how much of this song really is pertinent. Is that a good word?
Yeah,
But
it's a great word.
it's a great word.
Is this out of C?
You know what an arbitrator is?
Like a mediator? of
No, it's a
sorts?
guy that quits Arby's and goes to work for McDonald's.
Wish I had those drums.
Okay, Linda Goes to Mars. Well, I just found out yesterday that Linda goes to Mars. Every time I sit and look at pictures of used cars, she turns her radio on, sits back on her chair, and stares at me across the room as if I wasn't there. Oh, my stars, Linda's gone to Mars. Well, she wouldn't leave me here alone. Oh, my stars, Linda's gone to Mars. Well, I wonder if she'll bring me something home. Something, sometime, somewhere took Linda by the hand and secretly decoded our sacred wedding band. For when the sun shines down upon our happy, humble home, her inner space is tortured by some outer space unknown. Oh, my stars, Linda's gone to Mars. Well, I wish she wouldn't leave me here alone. Oh, my stars, Linda's gone to Mars. Well, I wonder if she'll bring me something home. I ain't seen no saucers except the ones up on the shelf. If I ever see one, I'll keep it to myself. For if there's life out there somewhere beyond this life on earth, I know that Linda's been there and got her money's worth. Oh, my stars, Linda's gone to Mars. Well, I wish she wouldn't leave me here alone. Oh, my stars, Linda's gone to Mars. Well, I wish she wouldn't leave me here alone. Well, I wonder if she'll bring me something home. Okie doke. That was for you, Linda. Irish ballads were real popular in the mountains. A lot of Irish people settled up there. So if we switch over to the key of A here, we'll do one called Lily of the West. When I first heard that song, I thought maybe, heard that title, I thought maybe it was Western America, since it was popular over here. Come to find out, there is a Western Ireland, and this song was written about a lady. She's a little bit fickle, but anyway, makes a good song. When first I came to Ireland, some pleasure for to find. 'Twas there I spied a damsel fair, so pleasing to my mind. Her rosy cheeks, her sparkling eyes, like arrows pierced my breast. And they called her lovely Molly, oh, the lily of the West. One day while I was walking down by the shady grove, I spied a lord of high degree conversing with my love. She sang a song so delightfully while I was sore oppressed, saying bid adieu to Molly, oh, the lily of the West. Then I stepped up with my rapier and my dagger in me hand. I dragged him from my false love and boldly bid him stand. And being mad with desperation, I swore I'd pierce his breast. I was then betrayed by Molly, oh, the lily of the West. All the way. I then did stand my trial, and I boldly made my plea. A flaw within my indictment found that soon had me free. That beauty bright that I adored, the judge did her address, saying, "Go, you faithless Molly, oh, the lily of the West." Now that I've gained my liberty, a roving I will go. I'll ramble through old Ireland and travel Scotland o'er. And though she sought to swear my life away, she still disturbs my rest. But still I'll style her Molly, oh, the lily of the West. Yes, still I'll style her Molly, oh, the lily of the West. Good. Lily of the West. Well, let's see. What else I got on my list here? I was reading some history books the other day, and I was reading about pirates. Mm-hmm. And you know, the captain of the pirates, they would, a lot of them would carry a parrot up in their shoulder.
Of course.
Yeah, you know how they kept them up there?
Couldn't tell you.
Polygrip. Yep. I didn't even know they had that stuff back then. Okay, let's do one on the auto harp here.
Sounds good.
Now, these instruments are basically the except for this top here that has all the chord buttons on it, is a European zither. But in America, they, being lazy, didn't want to pick all those strings out, so they fixed it so you could just hit a chord. So this is in the key of D. Didn't I Dance, written by a lady in New York. Can't think of her name right offhand, but a really pretty song. Grandmother heard him, his song was so sweet. She danced to the fiddler on little bare feet. She was 15 and fair, with dark braided hair, and didn't she dance in her day? Over the years I remember she said, one night as she kissed me and put me to bed, when I was a maid, my song was played. Oh, didn't I dance in my day? Didn't I dance? Didn't I dance? Didn't I dance in my day? Mother, she danced in a long silken gown, hair done in curls, the belle of the town. There was many a man who would ask for her hand, and didn't she dance in her day? Oh, now when she dances just once in a while, she says, I remember those times and I smile. I remember the night when my feet danced so light. Oh, didn't I dance in my day? Didn't I dance? Didn't I dance? Didn't I dance in my day? See the young girls in a soft summer's night, silhouette slender against the moonlight, hair flowing free. Once that was me, and didn't I dance in my day? Now that I'm older, there's one thing I know. I'll go on dancing though the tempo be slow. And I know that someday to my grandchild I'll say, didn't I dance in my day? Didn't I dance? Didn't I dance? Didn't I dance in my day? Didn't I dance? Didn't I dance? Didn't I dance in my day? Okay. Let's see. Go back to the banjo here, I guess. Then maybe we'll pick up the old guitar here after a bit.
All right.
And, how about let's go to the key of C.
Sounds
good.
Pardon?
Pardon?
Sounds good.
Okay. And we'll do a song. I believe this was written by a Canadian. Don't know. I don't think they really knew. They knew he was a Canadian, but they didn't know which one. So, and it's called Maggie, or When You and I Were Young, Maggie. So. Well, I wander today to the hill, Maggie, to watch the scenes below. Oh, the creek and the old rusty mill, Maggie, where we sat in that long, long ago. Oh, the green grove is gone from the hill, Maggie, where once the daisies sprung. And the old mill is now still, Maggie, when you and I were young. There's a city so silent and lone, Maggie, where the young, the gay, and the best, in their polished white mansions of stone, Maggie, have each found their place of rest. Is built where the birds used to play, Maggie, and join in the songs that were sung. But we sang just as gaily as they, Maggie, when you and I were young. Well, they say I am feeble with age, Maggie, my steps less sprightly as then, and my face is a well-written page, Maggie, but time alone was the pen. Yes, they say we are aged and gray, Maggie, like foam on the white breakers flung. But to me, you're as fair as you were, Maggie, when you and I were young. Yes, they say we are aged and gray, Maggie, the trials of life nearly done. So let us sing of those days that are gone, Maggie, when you and I were young. Yes, let us sing of those days that are gone, Maggie, since you and I were young. Okay,
How are we doing on time, Mr. Max?
We are at about 40 minutes.
Cool.
How much?
40.
20 minutes left.
Okay. Well, let's see. See which one we want to do here. How about we haven't done Dixie Darling yet? I don't think, have we?
We have not.
All right, let's try that one.
Is it in G?
Pardon me?
In the key of G?
C.
C.
I got one octave to sing in, so
Okay.
I have to pick the right key or I run out of stuff. Dixie darling, listen to this song I sing beneath the silvery moon. With my banjo right in tune, my heart is ever true. I love no one but you, my Dixie darling, my Dixie queen. Way down below the Mason-Dixon line, that's where the honeysuckles entwine. That's where the southern winds are blowing. That's where the daisy's growing. The girls up north in the gay finery whirl around society, singing songs of Dixie darling, where I long to be. My Dixie darling, listen to this song I sing beneath the silvery moon. With my banjo right in tune, my heart is ever true. I love no one but you, my Dixie darling, my Dixie queen. I'm a-going down south, have a good time, see my girl in old Caroline. Pick my banjo, do as I please, there's all those girls I want to squeeze. Singing songs of Dixie darling, that's where I long to be going. That's where the jelly roll going with a Dixie queen. My Dixie darling, listen to this song I sing beneath the silvery moon. With my banjo right in tune, my heart is ever true. I love no one but you, my Dixie darling, my Dixie queen. My Dixie darling, my Dixie queen. Okay, we got them stops pretty good for playing together for 2 hours.
Exactly.
Okay, let's see. I don't think we did. Did we practice Little Girl Dressed in Blue by any chance?
I don't know, but we can try it if you want.
Okay. I hated to pull that one on you, but I think it's pretty easy to follow. So, and it would be, I believe, in the key of G.
Okay.
By the way, Max, is it something about a tip jar or something?
Oh yeah, in the comments, if you like what you see, like what you hear, you can drop a tip in the tip jar. It's virtual, no pressure, but it helps Max keep doing what he's doing, helps Carl do what he does. I'm just here for the ride, so but it will benefit them.
Yeah, however he takes care of it there, so.
I fell in love with a pretty little girl, her name I do not know. See her in the evenings wherever I do go. She wears a white lace handkerchief, it's marked with C and U. I'll know her when I see her, the little girl dressed in blue. She almost drives me crazy, I don't know what I'll do. Well, I can't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. She almost drives me crazy and I don't know what I'll do. I can't find the pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. I saw her on the street one day, she looked at me so fine. When my horses saw her, they both began to whine. They lifted up and hopped and down the street they flew, until we found the pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. She almost drives me crazy, I don't know what I'll do. I can't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. She almost drives me crazy and I don't know what I'll do. I can't find the pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. If I find out where she lives and where she does belong, I'll tell her my story, the burden of my song. But if I do not find her, my heart will break in two, and I'll bid farewell to the little girl dressed in blue. She almost drives me crazy, don't know what I'll do. Well, I can't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. She almost drives me crazy and I don't know what I'll do. I can't find the pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. If I can't find that pretty little girl that I saw dressed in blue. Good. Yeah, you did good on that one. That's great. So, well, if I don't gab, can we get another song in there, Max?
Absolutely.
Okay. How about 8 More Miles to Louisville?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll try that one. When did I do that in? C. I did that in the key of C. This is one, I think Grandpa Jones, he either wrote it or he made it famous. And 8 more miles to Louisville. I've traveled all over this country, boys, seeking fortune, fame. Up and down both coastlines, I've traveled everywhere. Portland east to Portland west and back along the line. I'm going now to the place that's best, that old hometown of mine. 8 more miles in Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles on this old road, I'll never more be blue. I knew someday that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. To be a girl somewhere that you like best of all. Mine lives down in Louisville, she's long and she's tall. She's the kind that you can't find rambling through the land. I'm going now this very day, seek her heart and hand. 8 more miles Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles on this old road, I'll never more be blue. I knew someday that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles, Louisville, the hometown of my heart. I can picture in my mind a place we'll call our home, a humble little hut where two will never want to roam. The place that's right for that love sights in them bluegrass hills, where gently flows the Ohio by a place called Louisville. 8 more miles in Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles on this old road, I'll never more be blue. I knew someday that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles, Louisville, hometown of my heart. 8 more miles, Louisville, hometown of my heart. Okay, 8 more miles to Louisville.
Okay, Mom has requested God's coloring book.
God's coloring book?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's from Mom.
Okay. Boy, I didn't have that one written down. I hope I can remember the words. But if not, we'll always think I should have, right? It's in, I believe I do it in G, and it starts out in D. Today as I was walking in a field just down the way, I sat down on a fallen log to pass the time away. And as I looked around me, the more that I did look, the more I realized that I was viewing God's coloring book. I saw a golden ray of sunlight, a silver drop of dew, soft white floating clouds sailing over a sky of blue. Yellow panthers, pretty evergreens, red and orange flowers blooming wild along the stream. And the more I looked around me, the more that I did look, the more I realized that I was viewing God's coloring book. The grayness in an old man's beard, the pink in baby's cheeks, the blackness of a stormy sky, the brown and fallen leaves, the multicolored rainbow stretched out across the sky, and the purple haze of sunset just before the night. And the more I looked around me, the more that I did look, the more I realized that I was viewing God's coloring book. I really do think there's another verse, but you know, I was getting kind of worried about my memory, so I took an IQ test. Unfortunately, it came out negative. He said I had a right brain, left brain problem. On the left side, there wasn't anything right, and on the right side, there wasn't anything left.
He's still taking Now I've got a couple.
Well, if I can remember them, what
Tracy has requested Boil Them Cabbages Down on Dulcimer.
oh, okay. Well, we'll if I haven't put everybody to sleep yet, let's see. Get my feather out here. This is in D.
Okay.
Grandpa had a muley cow, muley it was born. Took a jaybird 30 years to fly from horn to horn. Boil them cabbages down, boys, bake them hoe cakes brown. The only song that I can sing is boil them cabbages down. Possum in a simmon tree, coon upon the ground. Let the possum shake some simmons down. Boil them cabbages down, boys, bake them hoe cakes brown. The only song that I can sing is boil them cabbages down. Grandpa had a muley cow, muley it was born. Took a jaybird 30 years to fly from horn to horn. Grandpa had an old brown mule, his name was Morgan Brown. Every tooth in that mule's head was a mile and a quarter round. Boil them cabbages down, boys, bake them hoe cakes brown. The only song that I can sing is to boil them cabbages down. Well, the awfulest thing I ever did see, two old women a-fightin'. One's a-hollerin', that ain't fair, the other was a-bitin'. Boil them cabbages down, boys, bake them hoe cakes brown. The only song that I can sing is boil them cabbages down. Yeah, the only song that I can sing is boil them cabbages down.
There's about 450 verses to that song.
We'll stop there. Then.
Yeah. So, well, I don't, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I don't know how much time we got left. It looks to me like it's after 8 o'clock. And it's past my bedtime, I know that.
Getting there for me, too, I say.
You know, I dreamed I was a muffler last night. I woke up exhausted this morning. Yeah. Yep, and but I slept like a baby the night before.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, I woke up every 2 hours and cried. Should I quit?
That's up to you. Did you play the guitar song?
Did we do the Wreck of the 97?
I don't know.
We could, well, I'll tell you what. Let's end with a gospel.
Okay. Are you going to play your song also?
Pardon?
Or is that the song for you?
Oh, I forgot about the guitar.
You got to do that one.
Okay, yeah.
I
Okay.
can step off for
And
that.
I don't. These two guitars might fight, so we're gonna keep them separated here. By the way, this is a 1937 Gibson. For those of you that are guitar connoisseurs, is that anything like a dinosaur? A connoisseur?
I don't know if that's a cymbal crash.
Okay, this is really a pretty song. It was banned in the Civil War because it talked about mother and sweetheart and so forth, and soldiers would be playing this, and next morning they were gone. I guess they lost more soldiers by attrition than they did by actual casualties. But anyway, it's called Lorena.
The years creep slowly by, Lorena, and the snow is on the grass again. The sun's low down the sky, Lorena, and the frost gleams where the flowers have been. But the heart beats on as warmly now as when the summer days were nigh. Oh, the sun can never dip so low adown affection's cloudless sky. 100 months have passed, Lorena, since last I held you in my arms and felt your pulse beat fast, Lorena, though mine beat faster far than thine. 100 months since flowery May, when up the hilly slopes we ran, oh, to watch the dying of the day and hear the distant church bells chime. We loved each other then, Lorena, more than we ever dared to tell. And what we might have been, Lorena, had but our loving prospered well. But then 'tis lost, the years are gone. I'll not call up their shadowy forms. No, I'll say to them, lost years, sleep on, nor heed life's pelting storm. I'll say to them, lost years, sleep on, nor heed life's pelting storm.
Are you taking any more requests?
Pardon?
Are you taking any more requests?
I don't know.
Somebody has requested 26 miles to the train.
Oh, we did that. But
Did
we,
that one?
yeah, we can do it again if somebody wants it. They must have missed it. Didn't we do 26 miles of the train?
I think so. They can watch it on the replay. If you got another one in mind.
Pardon?
They can watch it later on the replay.
Okay, yeah, we did 26 miles of the train earlier. That's a really good song. Who was it that requested that, do you know?
It was, hold on, Greg Wright.
Who?
Greg Wright.
Oh, yeah, Greg. Hi, Greg. Yeah, that's a good song. That we learned that one at Carter Caves or Caesars Creek Park, one of the two. So, oh, are we still being filmed?
Oh yeah, we're still live.
Oh, okay. So they're messing with that. You know, seeing those phones that you got there, you know how prisoners communicate?
I would say they communicate with cell phones.
Cell phones, right. Somebody should hit the thing over there. Somebody said there was a small fortune teller that escaped from the Mansfield Reformatory. They said it was a small medium at large. Might have to think about that one for a little bit. So, okay, well, that was a nice session. I appreciate it. I'm Mr. Maclean back there. I appreciate him helping me out. I've got a whole other page of songs, but if we're ready to quit, Max, we don't want to overdo it, but whatever you think.
If you got one more, go ahead and do it.
Well, let me see.
I want the last one.
Okay. Well, let me see. How about the rabbit song? In the key of C. I don't know. You want to try it with me? We didn't practice this one, but what the heck?
We can try it. We'll either go out on a high note or go out on a low note.
Right. I don't know if I told you, I've been writing some music on my own.
Okay.
I write it at night after I go to bed. Call it sheet music. You hit that a little bit quick. Sometimes those tunes don't come up real quick. These hills have been my home for 8 years come next Monday. Since 65 it's been this old dog and me. My woman was called home to be with the Lord in glory. My life has been a good one, but my journey's end I see. And it seems like the rabbits run much faster than they used to. Every year these hillsides get harder to climb. And it seems like autumn turns too quickly into winter. And it won't be long till me, this old dog, will say goodbye. Instead of laying over in the corner by the fireplace, that old dog would run on all day. And it seems like yesterday that we were out among the corn rows, making the memories that are on my mind today. And it seems like the rabbits run much faster than they used to. Every day those hillsides get harder to climb. And it seems like autumn turns too quickly into winter. And it won't be long till me and this old dog will say goodbye. Yeah, it won't be long till me and this old dog will say goodbye. Thank you, folks. That was a lot of fun.